So now we will turn to Eva. Eva, please tell us about your work on behalf of women and girls and in opposition to the threat that gender identity poses to women and girls as a sex class in Germany.
I'm honored to be here again with the WDI, still the first organization in Germany informing the public on the threat that poses the self-ID. And as you are all aware, we have this disgusting law entering into force on 1st of November, a date where we will have demonstrations in Berlin. And we are so overwhelmed that so many women across the globe have announced that they'll be demonstrating in front of the German embassies in their country. So even if we have lost and this law is coming, we still sort of, we have taken on the fight. And I think I'll speak briefly on two topics. The first topic, or the two topics, are our crowdfunding for an entrepreneur who is being confronted with a man who tried to push his way into her locker room of her female-only fitness studio. And the second is our conference for women in resistance. I think I start with Doris Lange. As you see here, this is Doris Lange. This is just a lady in her early 60s. She was confronted by a man who calls, earlier called Nicholas and now calls himself Laura, believes he is a woman, and wanted his way into her fitness studio, and she said no, and she was quite aware that this would be a a case that would gain reputation across the country, which happened. And on the very first day that we heard this news, we called her and offered her to do crowdfunding to for her legal case that was surely coming up. And we were overwhelmed that with a lot of press coverage and a lot of signatures we gathered, we were able to collect almost 70,000 euro. This is the number on the left, is the English not translated page, so here it is not quite up to date, but the number that counts, this is the 68,952 euros. And it was the remarkable thing was that we didn't have big donors, but we had a whole lot of small gifts, like from €1, €5, €10, €50, €100, €1,000, and and thus we collected the sum. And because this was a case when the impact of gender identity ideology was so obvious that any person who hadn't known of this topic at all would know immediately that something went terribly wrong there. And it's still, if you talk to people and you say, oh, have you heard of this case in Erlangen, where this man wanted to be in the women-only fitness studio in Erlangen? And he says, oh yeah, I might have heard something. So, and the case went on. We did the crowdfunding, and we reported on the whole subject. And then all of a sudden, we got into we were aimed at by this man and his lawyers, and we got a warning. We have been warned with a charge 3 times that we must not call Laura, which the lawyers called, of course, a woman, that we must not call him a man, which we obviously did, and we continue to call him a man because he is a man. And we got the second warning, and again, we were threatened to have to pay several tens of thousands of euros, and we always said no. And we have a very capable lawyer who's actually now defending quite a few women in Germany already. It's called Jonas Jacobs. If you need any details, I can give him to him. And he replied to the lawyers and to the request that it is for FRAUENHELDInnen who are defending the rights of women. It is simply not possible to call a man a woman because he thinks he is a woman. So this is the Grundrecht of Meinungsfreiheit, which is protected by our constitution, the basic freedom of free speech we are defending here. And after we have been warned the third time, we thought, okay, now it's time people to turn the tables. So now we are turning the tables, and we're going to sue this man and his lawyers, and we want a court having that the court says it is okay to call a man, which is something so stupid, so normal, but in these days you have to defend normality in Germany. That's where we have landed ourselves. So yeah, we are still at it. We are warning the man and his lawyers, and they haven't responded yet. They haven't given in yet. So but eventually we'll sue him in front of a court, and if the first court says no, it's his right to define himself as a woman, and with self-ID law has the right to be a woman and to be accepted as a woman and to be addressed as a woman. If we lose, of course, we'll try to go into the next instance, into the next higher court. And if this doesn't help either, we in Germany, we do have the special constitutional court that sees onto the fundamental rights. The thing is, in the last years, this court has been sort of undermined by political parties, which is the Christian Union and the SPD and the Greens. So actually, they are not that independent anymore as they should be. But I think if we gather together around 100 parties to press charges to defend the right of free speech, we might stand a little chance, and that's what we are going to do. So as long as I can open my mouth, I won't call a man a woman only because he thinks he's a woman, and neither does any of my Verein Frauenheldinnen. I'll quickly turn on to the next topic, which is our conference. We, as Frauenheldinnen, we are spread across the whole of Germany. So very soon we had the idea of having a gathering of the members, and so my co-chair of Frauenheldinnen, Suzette Schubert, who is amongst the listeners, she didn't want to be on the panel here, but so I'm doing this on my own, but she's actually the second head of Frauenheldinnen. She lives in Erfurt, which is a UNESCO protected city. It's really worth going there. I was there for the first time in my life, and it's beautiful. Turned out, or what started to be a member meeting, turned out to be a conference. As you see it, the conference in German for widerständige Frauen means translated a conference for women in resistance. Click on, this is our little thing. Okay. Our idea is to bring together women who want to stand up to the backlash, meet like-minded people, and find inspiration for body and soul. Before, Cara, you said something like a turf camp. Our conference is sort of meant to be a turf camp, only with a slight something special. We are not only radical feminists, but the idea is that we bring together women that fight for women's rights. We actually did have women there from different parties, like the very conservative Werte Union to the far left, and between Green Party, ex-Green Party members like myself. They're all united in the goal of fighting backlash on different topics. 2 days of speeches, panels, debate, networking, nearly 120 women coming from all over Germany, also Norway and Hungary. These are the three chair ladies. It's me, Suzette, and Antje, forming the Verein Frauenheldinnen. Go on. And this is our wonderful team. Even Patricia, we're seeing there with her broken arm. This is the cloister of Siege, where Martin Luther King, the former of the Protestant Church in Erfurt, became monk after he had visited a flash that almost killed him on the field. So he decided to become a monk, and so we were there protected by the Protestant Church, which was funny. Next year we'll be in premises of the Catholic Church. We had as I said, a professional technique team that filmed us, but they are not ready yet. So I put some pictures together. We had 4 tracks. One track, women in freedom, one track, women in safe spaces, one track, women in, well, safe spaces like lesbian, sports, and women in lust and integrity, and then women in resistance. Okay, so this is the date for next year with more international guests. We have had a little survey on the people attending, and 100% of them who responded, they were asked if you or would you recommend it, and 100% of them said yes, they would recommend it and they would come back again. It's of course now no professional video, but it doesn't give a sound, and this is our panel. This is Rona Duve, who you all know. This is sport lady. This is Sabet Blank, a detransitioner, together with Chantal Lewis, Selena Bruns, an ex-prostitute, speaking on her. And this is fighting against Islamism. This is Gunda Schumann. And this is Alice Schwarzer, our keynote speaker, who told us how to remain resistant for decades. This is again us. This is Inge Bell, whom some of you know from Terre des Femmes. It's our team again. This is L Squad from Let Women Speak, who's organizing. This is where one only man is a member of Frauenheldinnen too. He's a female Frauenheld. Our concert in the cave. All the things we didn't share, and yet it's dead. And we had also defense. We had a Krav Maga course, how to learn how to defend yourself against sex activists. Our final. And women were surprised. There were people from the very left to the very right. Well, they are not of my opinion, but you can talk to them. And this is my personal conviction. We're at a time of the backlash where it really is necessary to form alliances across the party lines. And with this Heroica, we've tried this, and it worked out quite nicely. And the most important thing, it was fun. And Alice Schwarzer, the icon of the German feminist movement, I'm not allowed to say her age, but it's several decades. She came, she was happy, and she promised to come back.
What is the position of Terre des Femmes in Germany? The questioner says, I see they participated in your event. I know their position on prostitution, but on trans/gender, it was very confusing. Have they taken a position? Do you know the answer,
No.
Eva?
Yes, of course. No, this is an error. The Terre des Femmes, they did not participate in the event. The woman who participated and gave the speech at the beginning, she is the one who tried to save Terre des Femmes. She actually formed an organization called Save Terre des Femmes, because Terre des Femmes, in 2020, when we had a law banning conversion therapy, which is actually good, but it was banning also the detransition of kids who thought themselves to be trans, or who had been lingered into to believing they are trans. So, and then from then on, the split of Terre des Femmes began, and it was a real hard fight inside the organization, which is or used to be a powerful organization with good stance on surrogacy, good stance on femicide, and actually a good organization and still doing good stuff. But at that moment, they lost sight of their actual thing on women. And Inge Bell, the one who gave the speech, she tried to save it. She was chair at that moment, and she tried to, and it was a real dirty battle inside, and it ended with several hundred women leaving Terre des Femmes. And then Inge Bell decided also, well, she also left, she abandoned, and so we did not actually have Terre des Femmes present at our conference. And we had one woman speaking. She obviously is anti-transgender identity ideology. She's still member of Terre des Femmes, but because of she's a doctor, and she's her topic is trauma therapy, and there she's done some really good work. So we in Frauenheldinnen, we do have a few members who left Terre des Femmes actually, and some who are still there and sort of trying from within do some work, but many of them are disappointed. And this is a real shame, having such a powerful women's organization weakened by gender identity ideology.